a lot of you guys know that I've been sober for 16, going on 17 now years. And I just wanted to share this story of when I first got sober. I was going to a recovery 12-step group. And in those groups, really, there's no rules in the group. You belong if you belong, right? If you've got a problem with drugs or alcohol, you belong. And nobody can tell you that you can't, right? And interestingly enough, 16 years ago, I was not the person I am today. Like, I was shy, timid. I couldn't talk to people. I was so, oh my God, I was like, don't look at me, don't perceive me at all. And here I am on the fucking internet now. But I had no voice. I had no voice for myself. I have quite a bit of early recovery day stories. And this one just stands out the most. And it's more about, like, we really don't know what is going on with people, you know? Anyways, so I'm newly sober. I'm going to this meeting, and it's my home group, so it's one I go to all the time. I went there with my boyfriend at the time. And we're sitting on a couch, and it was my boyfriend, me, and then this other man who I know. As the meeting ends and we're standing up, he does something very what's the word? Not okay. He was very inappropriate with me and touched me in a way that's not okay. And I didn't know this version of me. I didn't have me back then. So I was just like this little quiet, shy, timid person, which is so strange that I lived like that my whole life. So I actually just ran out of the meeting, and people knew in my home group. So they all came out, and I told them what happened. And then everyone was up in arms, like, oh my God. I was so afraid to go home. I was so terrified to go home. Because he knew where I lived too, which was kind of scary. So in that group, the discussion was, should that person be allowed to come back to that group, really? And, because it's putting me at risk and potentially other young women at risk. I was young then. I'm not young now. Not that means anything, but, so it was decided that because of the traditions of our group, that we can't tell him not to come. And that actually ended up feeling okay for me. I was like, okay, that actually is, I feel better about that, even though I'd prefer he never comes there again and never touch me that way ever again. Okay? So, whatever. The funny story is, and it's not funny, but the story that I like to tell myself and remind myself is that man could not stay sober. He could not stay sober. He kept coming to the rooms. He kept relapsing. That poor man could not stay sober. And this is when I worked at the hospital. So I worked at the hospital, and one day I was walking by one of the rooms, and there was a middle-aged man, naked, with a diaper on and restraints, hand and leg restraints, which we do in the hospital. If you have combative patients, you have to restrain them, unfortunately. And he had full restraints on, enough, but he had enough room that he could sit up. So he was sitting up, naked, with a diaper on, shackled basically to the bed. And it was him. And he was, at that time, he was probably mid-30s. It was so sad to see. It was so hard for me to see. I saw him twice in the hospital as a patient, actually. So I ended up seeing him one other time after that, but he was not wearing a diaper and he was walking around, but he did not look good. Anyways, the point of my story here is, had we kicked that guy out for being inappropriate, I'm not saying being inappropriate is okay. I'm not saying that, no, it's not okay. It's absolutely not okay. And had it been a little bit more than what it was, then yes, I would take action, but it wasn't, had we decided as a group not to let that person come back, And he was already struggling to stay sober. I don't even know if he's alive. I have not seen him in years. But what I do know is the guy was really sick. Really, really sick. And the fact that he was still able to go to a room to get help is amazing. You know, he did make an amends. He did make an amends to me at one of the meetings after, which was great. He had never acted inappropriate towards me before. And then, of course, not afterwards either. It was nice because I had my group kind of keep an eye out for me, which is basically what I needed. And, you know, if that was to happen to me today, which I'm telling you, that shit does happen. But if that happens to me today, I'll just tell you. You're going to know, okay? You will know it's not okay. But back then I didn't have that voice, right? And so I think about that a lot because, yeah, the poor guy, you know, couldn't get sober, couldn't stay sober. And I don't know, I just have a feeling he's not even with us anymore. And that's sad, you know? Yeah. Thought of the day, okay?